What's up, everybody? So with the release of Paper Mario The Origami King last week, we also saw the release of all of its glorious music, and man, it does not disappoint. Before the game's release, Nintendo posted the Red Battle Stream theme and the music from the OK Cafe. I love the Red Battle Stream theme. Man, that's kind of a twin twister. I love the Red Battle Stream theme so much that I actually made a video how I believed each battle theme could be arranged. I also added to the video my version of what the Blue Battle theme could sound like, and to my surprise, it was very close to it. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's linked in the description. Check it out. So the question posed today is, why is the music in Paper Mario The Origami King so good? Well, the answer, there are many reasons, there are many answers, and we're going to explore that right now. And to give a fair warning, I will talk about things all the way up to the end of the world with the yellow streamer. So yeah, this is the spoiler warning. And with that out of the way, let's get started. To begin, let's start with the instrumentation used throughout the game. Instruments and music are linked very closely to culture. Historically, every culture, ancient and present, have used music in their society for either secular or sacred reasons. Music is so tied to a society that one can easily determine the culture by simply knowing the instrumentation and type of music being played. Shogun Studios is represented by Japanese culture, while Sniffet City is represented by Indian culture. Like I previously stated in my video, by simply using the koto or the shamisen, you easily get the Japanese feel to your environment. And by using the sitar and shekne in the Sniffet City theme, it makes it almost impossible not to think of India. The Origami King, in my opinion, does a great job of creating a huge world to explore because of very distinct locations that are found throughout it. By creating these themes that use proper cultural instrumentation, it just makes the exploration and discovery of these locations that much better. I mean, when I first arrived to Sniffet City, not gonna lie, I thought I was in some kind of Bollywood movie. That Sniffet City theme is just something else. So that's one reason why the music is so good. But let's go a little bit more into depth. We are all familiar with famous music throughout video games. To name a few big ones, Tetris has a very famous theme. Mario has also a very famous theme. I'm going to be using the word theme a lot in this part, so for those that may not know exactly what it means, a theme is basically a very recognizable melody. In this case, we all know the famous underground theme from the first Mario game. And since we all know it, when we go into the graffiti underground, we are met with a variation of that theme. We hear it, and for those that are older, are struck with nostalgia. And for those that are younger, probably think it's cool that they recognize a track from an older game. Now, Nintendo could have stopped there, but would that have been a classic Nintendo move? Absolutely not. They take it one step further and change it up when the light is off and the light is on. Let's take a listen to it. Although a small detail, the use of the underground theme along with giving it a darker timbre when the lights are off, in my opinion, is Nintendo going the extra mile. But even a simple theme is what makes this music so great. For example, we go down to the Chestnut Valley, and as we are scaling back up the mountain, we are hit with this piece. As I was scaling up, I was loving it, but after a while I began to realize I had heard this somewhere. Did you guys notice it? After taking a couple more listens, they took part of the second overworld theme from Super Mario Bros. 3 and used it in the Chestnut Valley theme. Another instance where a small portion of a theme is included into an area's music is when we enter the Princess Peach cruise ship. The music is very eerie and mysterious, and then all of a sudden we hear it. Did you hear it? We get a small snippet of the title theme included. When playing through this part, the music does a great job of creating suspense and then hits you with something recognizable. Although unnecessary, the music team makes these choices to further enhance the gaming experience gained from the soundtrack. Again, like the Chestnut Valley theme, it's a small detail, but all these small details go a long way. And themes are another reason as to why the music is so good. Before I get to my final point, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I love myself a good discussion on music. So for my last point as to why the music in the Origami King is so good, I'm gonna go over how they mix sounds and music to create all these remarkable atmospheres. Now, before you guys go off and comment, Ace Monkey, technically sound is not music. So you can't go, yeah. And to that, I pull out my music is subjective card. We all know of that kid that swore he was creating the next greatest beat because he was slamming a pencil on his desk. Was he making music or sound? See, subjective. Well, back to the music and sound of the Origami King. Trust me, it'll all make sense. When traveling from the Whispering Woods to Toad Town, there's a part where all we hear are sounds. We hear the rustling of the trees, the wind blowing, and the waves crashing. These ambient sounds create a calm and soothing atmosphere as Mario is walking towards Toad Town. This isn't the only thing it does though. It also creates a transition from the Whispering Woods theme we previously heard to whatever Toad Town theme you have unlocked at the moment. Now I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that the sound of waves and trees rustling is music. During this transitional area, there is no music. So at this moment, we can clearly say that we have an absence of music. And that is why the music is so good. And it is at this moment, fellow viewer and subscriber, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? It is at this moment, fellow viewer and subscriber, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, how can the music be so good if there is no music? And to that, I reply with what my composition professor once told me. He said, look here, young Ace Monkey. You can go on and on about adding millions of notes to your composition, but you gotta remember one thing. To every great composition, there is silence. And it's these moments of silence that make your music even greater. And this is exactly what the sound team did. When you defeat the Earth Velumental and leave the temple, you're welcomed with silence. When you go back to Picnic Road, you are hit with the music and an indication that your journey is continuing. When making musical compositions, the music you write is just as important as the music you leave out. And the people who worked on the music to the Origami King did an excellent job at this. Talking about these transitions leads up to my last example of why the music is so good. When you are in Toad Town and walk down to the pier, we hear a change in music. Now, it seems like a simple transition of music to better fit the environment, and yeah, you could say that, but there is a lot going on. Toad Town is a basic meter of 4/4. Without getting too much into detail, meter is basically a measurement of how many beats are grouped together. 4/4 being 4 beats being grouped together. When we move into the pier, it transitions flawlessly into a meter of 3/4, which is 3 beats grouped together. This meter of 3/4 is what gives that ocean sea adventure of swaying back and forth. Honestly, when I first heard this, I literally went back and forth between areas just to listen how great it sounds. Meter changes is not something that is quite popular or common, so hearing this and knowing that at whatever moment of the track I decide to switch, like I said before, the change is flawless. It's perfect. And that, my friends, is why the music is so good. I can go on and on about how great the music is in the Origami King, but I want to know, why do you think the music is so good? What are your favorite tracks, or what are your favorite moments? Let me know in the comments down below. I can go on and on about how great it is, but I want to hear more from you guys. Until next time, guys, I'm Ace Monkey. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.